Hey, Life Science, I'm going to walk you through the steps of a little experiment that should demonstrate to you the principles of osmosis. So the first thing that you're going to need is 2 samples of water with different concentrations of salt. So let's start off with some plain water. There we go. So we're going to have plain water in the pink cup. Moving on, we're going to need some really salty water. I'm not going to bother with making specific measurements. I'm just going to make it really salty. Really salty. Okay, so now that I've got all the salt I can handle in there, I'm going to go ahead and add the water. Yeah, this is extraordinarily salty water. Let's just get all that mixed in there. I made the water warm so the salt should mix more easily. Should be pretty salty. Yeah, so I got fresh water in the pink cup. I got salt water in the green cup. Okay, so what's the deal with osmosis? Osmosis is a process by which 2 different concentrations of water, whether it's salt or sugar or whatever it is that is in that water, equalize by the movement of water across a semi-permeable membrane. And nothing has semi-permeable membranes like cells do. So I've got 2 grapes here. Grapes are full of cells. They have semi-permeable membranes, and inside of the cells in these grapes are various concentrations of salts and sugars and minerals and stuff in water. Compared to this fresh water, these are not very pure at all. However, compared to this salt water, they're actually a lot cleaner. So here's how we're going to do this. We're going to take these 2 grapes, put them in these temporary little homes, and this grape in the yellow is going to be immersed in fresh water, and this grape in orange is going to be immersed in salt water. Now, in this, the concentration of non-water, sugar, salt, all that stuff in the grape is lower than that in the water. So we can expect the water to enter into the grape to try to water it down. But in the other case, there's so much more salt in the water outside the grape that we can expect water from in the grape to leave to try to water down its bath. Okay, now I know that not everyone necessarily has the same grocery supplies at home. I don't want to be sending people out to the store, so we have alternatives. I also have a potato. Now, a potato is a bit of an awkward vegetable. Not a fruit, it's a vegetable. And if I were to, say, open it up, there's some cells. Now, what I need is 2 fairly uniform small pieces. I want something that's going to be long enough that I could conceivably try to bend it. And there we go. I've got some potato twins, little potato wafers. Aren't they just so cute? Well, these are fairly similar to the grapes in that they're full of cells, and those cells are surrounded in cell walls. Inside of those cells is a lot of water and a lot of other stuff. This one is going to be submerged in the pure water from the pink cup. This one is going to be submerged in the salt water from the green cup. Good. Just going to make sure everything is all nice and submerged and covered up in water. So now here's how this goes. Potato in clean water. Potato in salt water. Grape in salt water. Grape in clean water. We're going to let this sit for about half an hour. And after half an hour, we're going to take them out and see how they've changed. Well, it's been half an hour. Oh, and my phone's wet. Didn't intend for that to happen, but it did. Let's see how things are. So, this was the potato in fresh water. Okay. And this was the potato in salt. Oh my goodness. Oh, oh my gosh, it's so bendy. Okay. So the the potato that was in salt water, it's like, oh my goodness, it's so bendy. Okay, so the potato that was in fresh water, pretty stiff feeling, but in salt water it's so bendy. All right, let's see about these grapes. So this grape that was in fresh water feels pretty firm, and this one that was in salt water, oh my gosh, it's so squishy. Well, the difference was most pronounced in the potatoes. I'm going to let the grapes sit overnight. Okay, so what about for you? So the last couple times that I've given you guys experiments with you guys and with other classes, a lot of the time what happens is the specific materials that you need to do them as I've described them is something that you don't have at home. So obviously we can't all be going out to the grocery store right now. And the point of these kinds of labs is you want to be able to do it with stuff that you do have at home. So one thing that I think I can count on everyone having at home is salt. If you don't have enough salt to use for this kind of thing, you could use baking soda. You could use sugar. Really, you just need to use something that you have a lot of that you can mix into water. As for the food items that you use, I chose to use a potato because it's something that I found in other instructions, but the point is that it is a stiff fruit or vegetable that you can cut into little slices. You should be able to do the same thing with carrots. You should be able to do the same thing with apples. Really, any stiff food item that you can cut into thin strips, something that would have enough strength to, stand up to you trying to bend it, so that if it became slack, you'd be able to tell. As far as the grape goes, that has like a softer kind of flesh, so that it could either become firm or go squishy. I think if you don't have a grape, you could probably use a tomato. Um, you might be able to use a cucumber. The idea is that you don't have to do them both. Just do one. I'm trying to give you ideas. You should have some sort of fruit or vegetable that you could immerse a piece of into clean water and salt water. Leave it there for an extended period of time, whether it's half an hour or overnight, and then when it's all done, note the difference. What I want you to do is to describe the differences. Just write up a summary of what you saw, what they look like, what they feel like. If you want to send me a picture, even a video, that would be great. Share those with me so that I know that you've done it and you've done a good job. Hey guys, you don't need a laboratory to do science and find interesting stuff. A laboratory is just a controlled little piece of the universe, and as far as I know, your house is in the universe. So good luck, have fun, and have a good week.